Hi there and welcome to another portion of infotainment. This video counts towards your 5 a day. How could 2020 possibly get worse? The China/India border situation going from a standoff to a full-on shooting war. And then Pakistan gets involved to aid China. Man, it's gonna be a three-way nuke war. Oh jolly. Wait, why is it so cold out there? And thanks to radioactive fallout, we'll lose. Who wanna play Fallout? Well, in the case of my country Chile, we had massive protests since October, government handled it pretty bad and our economy crippled. Now with the pandemic, again the government mishandled it and we are having a pretty nasty second wave of infections. Only thing that would make things worse would be one of our recurrent earthquakes. Chile is known for having devastating earthquakes every 10 to 15 years. Last big one near the capital was around 10 years ago. If government mishandles it again, our economy may hurt in an irreparable way. It's hurricane season. And wildfire season. And tornado season. And duck season. Some sort of large-scale electrical failure would be the icing on the cake. Oh please not that. Quarantine plus no internet would suck so much. That would be great. Sure, I wouldn't be able to work, but I'd stop getting bombarded with bad news and I'd finally have no excuse to not read and exercise more. I'm in Oz and would surely die from the heat. A proxy war between any #we nations nuclear powers that turns nuclear. More specifically, since everybody's asking, China versus India like what's going on right now, or the US versus Iran or Saudi Arabia versus Iran. And finally, American Civil War II. I nominate Vatican City and Monaco for the war. Liechtenstein versus Andorra. My god, the death toll could be in the dozens. We find evidence of alien life, but it's like the assimilating one from the thing or eats a bunch of greedy space corporations trying to use us like the Belgians use the Congolese. A Vagan constructor fleet appears in the sky, hanging in the air just like bricks don't, to construct a hyperspace bypass. That, hanging in the air just like bricks don't, line is the best line ever written in the English language. A world war? World War V. A war so intense it skips over 3 and 4. I have spoken. YouTube Rewind. Can't wait to see 2020 at Rewind, to be honest. Intro starts with Will Smith coughing. Gah! Anybody remembers post from 3rd of January? It was something like, first day of New Year World War III starts, second Australia is on fire, third day Pope hits woman, what will happen fourth day? And people were joking what terrible crap will happen, and now it's like worst year since 1939. Oh frick. A guy on there said COVID, back when it had just started. I remember reading a news article back in December about a new virus spreading in China and thinking that it was going to be local. Not sure if it was about COVID though. 2020. After seeing this post, write that down. Write that down. No kidding, why are we giving 2020 ideas? It's a trick, send no reply. Not sure, but the first 5 months feels like 5 years. Was talking to my wife about Hong Kong protests and Australia wildfires, and it seems like it was a couple of years ago. I'm watching the US to see how the elections are going. That could really give 2020 the cherry on top. We're on like the 6th era of 2020 by now. Remember Trump's impeachment trial, way back in the first era of 2020? You just had to ask, didn't you? You will go down in history as the person who jinxed humanity to annihilation. There will be no recorded history to go down in after an annihilation. We'll be scratching Ops' name into the walls of our underground cave dwellings as we slowly drift into extinction. 20 million years later, the beaver folk, the new dominant intelligent beings on the planet, will bat their tails on the floor in excitement at evidence that once other beings walked the earth, and will conclude they died out through lack of dams. Calling it now, the second half of 2020 is gonna be the best comeback in history, starting with a Rocky IV montage. Let's see, how could this happen? 1. Australian fires burn away almost all plants except for a small bush that has randomly mutated to resist wildfire. The bush spreads rapidly to cover the whole continent and bushfires are no longer a thing. 2. Turns out Kobe crash was a ruse so he could do an undercover TV show. Turns out to be the best show ever made. 3. With so much research going into coronavirus, scientists accidentally stumble across a method to cure all types of cancer. As a bonus, it's a non-American company, so it's provided for no profit. 4. Kim turns out to have nearly died but makes full recovery. The near-death experience makes him fundamentally change his outlook on the world, and he makes North Korea an open country that is friendly with the rest of the world. A massive meteorite hitting the Earth. At a time of heightened tensions between India and China, and is mistaken for a nuclear attack, causing a full-on exchange of nukes between the two. Then the US, Pakistan and possibly Russia would get involved, and if Pakistan gets involved, India would launch an attack towards Pakistan. And forgot about the US/Russia conflict, yeah, it's not gonna go well. COVID-20. If pandemics are a once in 100-year thing, there's 1/100th chance another one starts this year. I don't like those odds. Still got second and third waves to come yet. Yellowstone. At least for the USA, for my country, Jacob Zuma somehow makes it back. Yellowstone caldera blowing would mess up more than the US. Large portion of the world would be effed. Yeah, mass refugees from the US, not to mention effed world economy and rapid climate change. Whole world would suffer. I live in LA, and today I was thinking the universe could truly frick us by finally having the big one strike this summer. But I guess that's just regional and not more awful poop for the entire world. It would destroy Hollywood. On top of the ripple effect of essentially removing the world leader of cultural trendsetting, the money it brings in accounts for a not small part of the USA GDP. Add to that the devastation of one of the two most influential cities of the country, and such an incredibly long list of dead celebrities. That, combined with the expense of the relief efforts, could push the country firmly into a second Great Depression. So, no, not just regional. Several X-class solar flares that completely destroy global telecommunications, household electronics, and power grids all over the world, thereby knocking humanity back to the Stone Age. Insert whatever time period you think would best suit the scenario, 1950s, 1900s, 1800s, etc. Wait, maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing to have happen. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.